Hey everyone, Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. Welcome back to another video. Now, it does look like we found our next head coach. That's in the form of Liam Manning. Head over there if you've not watched those videos already. We've covered that a lot, and I'm sure we will over the coming days and weeks as well. There's yet to be an official announcement at time of recording, but that should come very soon. So that looks to have been wrapped up. But now we move on to the transfer rumours, and they have well and truly started. Borja Sainz, the latest to be linked with a move away from Norwich City. We will be getting into that into this video. I want to thank Match Bingo for being today's video sponsor. They combine real sports and bingo to create one great product. You can get one line, a full house, loads of prizes have been given away since they launched. Over £200,000 in fact. The cards are just £2 to enter. There are also free games on there. The link to download is in the description, or you can scan the QR code. Now head over there. I'm playing along a lot. Match Bingo have been long-term supporters of TNC. It's a great way to follow along the action. They do football and they also do darts. Now, if you're watching this on Thursday, then there's Premier League darts. Get stuck into that and hopefully have some fun. Match Bingo, links to download in the description. Borja Sainz then, he is being linked with a move over to Spain. Athletic Bilbao, to be precise. He was in Bilbao last week for the Europa League final between Tottenham and Manchester United. Not the greatest of spectacles. I hope he still had a fun time. But it is looking more and more likely that we're going to lose Borja Sainz. I think when we went into this summer window, there were kind of three names, weren't there, that we were scared about. Borja Sainz, Josh Sargent, and Marcelino Nunes. Now, I'm expecting two of them to go, potentially three. I think if we can keep hold of one of them, we've done pretty well. I think we'll definitely lose Sainz. I think we'll definitely lose Sargent. We might have a chance in keeping Nunes. The Pink 'Un were reporting that Catalan-based outlets claimed late on Monday night that Sainz has spoken to Bilbao's football chief, Mikel Gonzalez, since the end of this season. He posted that he was in Bilbao last week for the Europa League final. There's also interest from Villarreal. They've made contact with Borja Sainz's camp. The Yellow Submarines can now offer a Champions League place after it was confirmed by UEFA on Monday. The Spanish side finished below Bilbao in La Liga, but were granted one of the two performance spots in the 2025-26 Champions League group phase. So not only is a move to Spain's top flight on offer for Borja, there's also an offer of Champions League football. Now, that is something that I don't think anyone can turn down. Interestingly, Borja actually started at Athletic Bilbao. He was there for 5 years as a youth player, came through the ranks there, and now the opportunity to go back looms. It's going to be a really difficult summer, I think, for Norwich. We obviously heard from Ben Napper, 2-3 weeks ago, talking about the summer window, what we can expect, managerial discussions, squad discussions. And I think what has been proven under Ben Napper so far is his ability to demand the best price. You know, we saw it with Gabriel Sara, Johnny Rowe, Adam Eder last summer. All of those transfers could have gone quite wrong, particularly Johnny Rowe, who was, demanding a move away and I think made it quite difficult for the club. Actually, what happened was we got a really good deal. Now, I'm certainly not saying that Sainz or Sargent or Nunes or whoever is going to throw their toys out the pram. There might be a case where that happens, where they're demanding a move. But I can't see a world where any of these are going for less than we're looking for. Sainz has got a year left on his deal. It feels like the time is right. I mean, it was 22 goal contributions in 41 league appearances last season. You throw in the mix, a 6-game ban as well. It could have been so much better, which sounds crazy. It was a goal contribution every other game. That's a really good record. But for the last 3 months of that season, he didn't do too much. I think weirdly, and it sounds mental considering those stats, out of Sargent, Nunes and Sainz, it's actually Sainz that I wouldn't mind losing the most for a couple of reasons. I think that position out on the wing is easier. It's not easy. It's easier to replace than a striker or a really important midfielder. And I think actually for the Championship and how Norwich are looking to play, I think there's might be players better suited to that role than Sainz. Look, I'm not discounting any of Sainz's work. He was phenomenal. He was one of the most talented players in the Championship last season. He was in the team of the season in terms of the Championship. That shows the quality that he was at, and it will be a huge, huge miss. But we have to get realistic now. If we are maintaining our position as a fairly average Championship squad, which we were last season, you are going to lose your best players, and it's also going to become tougher to attract new players. Now, with the likes of Jacob Wright, who still hasn't been officially announced, but that is a done deal. He's a top quality young English player. We've done well to attract him on a permanent for £2 million, which is an absolute steal. You're hoping that players are now buying into the journey, the infrastructure, where Norwich can take these players. And I think actually that selling perspective is part of one of the youth development kind of chats. Johannes tried very hard and actually did an okay job at developing some of those younger players. Borja Sainz really came along, Kellen Fisher, etc., Lucian Mahavo. Development at this club is one thing, but all of these players will be hoping for bigger and better things. For Borja, he'll be hoping for Champions League football. For Kellen Fisher, Lucian Mahavo, they might be dreaming of Premier League football. They will be dreaming of Premier League football, so they need to see that pathway in order to get there. Playing for Norwich is one thing, getting game time for Norwich is one thing, developing at Norwich is one thing, but then allowing them to flourish and move on is another. Now, that's quite a hard balance because you need to show that you're willing to do that, but that's important that you then replace those players, and it's also important that we get the right price. Getting the right price and moving them on at the right time are two very difficult things, and Bilbao will be looking at Norwich in the position we are, knowing that those players will want out. We'll be knowing that we don't have as much bargaining power as if we were in the Premier League. So that makes Ben Napper's already difficult job even more difficult. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that Sainz will be leaving this summer. This doesn't come as a shock. I didn't read this story and go, oh my goodness, no. I think a move back to Spain would make a lot of sense. I think that would suit his game quite nicely. And I think he'll do really well there. I think in a Champions League setup, I think he will perform. I think he will contribute. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it in a strange way. Much like Gabi Sara, it pained me to see him go. But seeing him score goals in Europe, winning titles, that does feel kind of nice in a strange way. We just have to replace them properly. That's the difficult thing. So, Borja Sainz, expect movement this summer. Athletic Bilbao, Villarreal, the two names at the moment who he's being linked with. I'm sure that will change, but he has been in Bilbao. He has been talking, apparently, to their football chief, Mikel Gonzalez. We shall see where this goes. So much will be happening at Norwich City over this summer. Transfer rumours, managerial changes, staff incomings and outgoings. You need to stay locked in to Talk Norwich City. A big thank you to Match Bingo for sponsoring today's video. I mean it when I say it. It's a really cool app. Head over there, check it out. Play one of the free games to get started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.